Hello there everybody, this is Jackson, and here I have a 2010 MacBook Pro that I've gotten for free, no money. In this video we will be installing a 500GB SSD, upgrading the RAM from 4GB to 8GB, and installing a fresh copy of macOS High Sierra, as that is the latest operating system this machine can run. First, we must remove the bottom cover by removing the 10 Phillips head screws. Note that the 3 top right screws are longer than the rest. Wedging our fingers between the lower case and the vent, we can lift off the bottom cover. Now let's focus our attention on the factory hard drive. There are 2 screws on this little bracket that are holding the drive in place. Loosen the screws as they do not come out all the way. Once you have them loosened, grab this plastic tab and pull the hard drive up and out. Be careful as the SATA data connector is still plugged in. Unplug that by pulling straight out. Now onto our new SSD. Replace the plastic tab that was on the old hard drive and stick it on the edge of the new drive. Unscrew the 4 mounting screws on the old hard drive and screw them into our new SSD. Once that is complete, plug in the SATA data connector, fit the 2 bottom screws into the holes on the bracket, then lay the drive down, making sure it's secure. And finally, screw in the top bracket. Next, let's focus our attention on the RAM. Pull the 2 plastic tabs outward until the RAM module pops up, then pull the stick straight out towards you. Repeat the same for the second DIMM. Now, install the new RAM by inserting it at an angle and then pushing it down, making sure that the tabs click into place to lock it down. Now it'll take some time to vacuum out the dust that's accumulated over time. Now it's time to clean the machine. I'll start with some glass cleaner. You can see how on the top case and on the cover of the computer that there's some writing in Sharpie that will need to be removed. The first thing I will try is some 90% rubbing alcohol and a paper towel, and that seemed to make a 95% improvement. I'll then follow up with some Windex on the entire top case. I will also clean each key individually with some Windex. You can use rubbing alcohol on that, but I recommend not, as it may discolor or damage the plastic keys. Next, I'll take some rubbing alcohol and clean all the edges of the computer. There's this little piece of tape that needs to be removed. I'll start by trying to peel it up and then wiping the residue away with rubbing alcohol. If you have something that's bigger, like a sticker or duct tape, you can use WD-40. Let it soak for around 10 minutes, and the sticker should come off pretty easily. You can then wipe away the excess adhesive with rubbing alcohol. With the final stages of cleaning, I will use a microfiber towel and rubbing alcohol on all the aluminum parts of the computer. For the screen, I will use a product called Monster Screen Clean. I do not recommend using alcohol, as it will destroy the oleophobic coating used to repel fingerprints. You can also use something like glass cleaner. Lastly, I will use a vacuum with an agitating brush to vacuum out the dust on the inside of the ports. If your ports are very dirty, you can spray rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip and clean the ports by inserting the Q-tip in and out. Now it's time to install macOS. I've already prepped this flash drive with the latest version of High Sierra. Insert it into the computer, power it on, and hold down the Option key until you see a list of drives. Hit the return key on the USB stick and it will boot into the installer.
Meme machine, meme machine. I'm a motherfucking meme machine.
You will then be greeted with this screen. Select your language and navigate to the disk utility. Select your SSD and click Erase from up top. Name the drive. I'm naming this one Macintosh HD, then click Erase. Once the drive is erased, you can click Done and exit out of disk utility. Now, double-click on Install macOS. Agree to the terms and select your SSD. It will then begin installing. While that's installing, let's turn our attention to the charger. It's actually pretty rare to receive an authentic power adapter with a laptop in general, much less a free one. We'll start by removing this tape. You can then remove the excess adhesive with WD-40. I usually just spread it around and let it sit for 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, we can remove the residue with a paper towel. Lastly, I'll remove this writing with rubbing alcohol. Alright, so it looks like the installation has finished. I'll just set it up real quick. Oh, we're going. This computer cleaned up real nice, and it's actually a very capable machine. Even though High Sierra is a few years old now, it's still supported by Apple and can run all the latest and greatest software. And it runs like a dream. In fact, I edited and scripted this entire video on this computer. Now what can you do with this computer? You could keep it, but I managed to sell mine for $400. I sold it for a premium because it was in such great condition, included a genuine Apple power adapter, and because of the upgrades I did to it. Including the price of the upgrades, I made around $300, and this is something that you guys can do. Find a free, inexpensive Mac, upgrade it, clean it, make a quick buck. I hope this video was enjoyable. I do have some other videos coming up, including a free iMac G3. Until then, thank you for watching.